Hey, welcome to Telling It Like It Is. A little update on the NBA playoffs. What's left of the playoffs? Right now, we're 2-2 in the East, and the Suns just clinched last night. By the way, again, if I could toot my own horn again, because nobody else is going to do it, we did talk about the injuries before the playoffs started and how this sport is impacted by injuries more than any other at playoff time, and sucks to be right. So the NBA is missing out on all these great young stars. We're very happy to have no LeBron this year. For a lot of people, it looks like the ratings had ticked up, and now the injury bug has gotten crazy. And the NBA needs to address the issue: either play less games and have no load management, or find ways to, I don't know, extend the season, make it longer, but not as far as less games, make it over more days. You got to try something out of the box here because the players are never going to want to play less games and give money back. And that's a big problem. Players are not going to want to do that. The owners are not going to want to do that. So you need to look at some alternative solutions here. But not good because, we want to see Giannis. We want to see Trey Young. We wanted to see James Harden. We wanted to see Kyrie play. We wanted to see all these guys play. And here we are. We're missing so many bodies. Kawhi Leonard. I mean, I never seen a team be more fortunate. I know everybody's had some fortune in their runs, but this is, the Suns won't even have played close to a full team. So, but that's to their benefit. And this thing about how you can't count it as a real championship is just frankly stupid. But let's get to a couple other things. Just the talk. And again, Chris Paul is a first ballot Hall of Famer, but can we just not have a narrative every goddamn time we have a freaking NBA broadcast? And then the people, Chris Paul is not a top 5 point guard of all time. Lucky if he's in the top 10. So people on social media, I mean, like, just do a little research. I mean, you'll never hear me talk about wine or beer because I don't know anything. But everybody thinks they know sports. But some of these people, I mean, to say he's a top 5 point guard, and then you realize the person's 25 years old with gel in their hair and probably hasn't seen 99% of the point guards that have been out there. So he's better than Jerry West, Oscar, Magic, Isaiah, better than Jason Kidd, better than Steve Nash, 2 MVPs, better than Steph Curry. I don't know. Is he better than Westbrook? Is he better? We can go on and on. Right. So, he's definitely not a top 5. It's not even close. I mean, he's lucky to be in the top 10. And we're not even including like Walt Frazier, Earl Monroe, who played some 2 guard when he came to the Knicks. I mean, really, people. I mean, catch a grip. Dennis Johnson. I mean, good Lord. I mean, just learn the goddamn game before you come on here. And why is everything in the last 2 minutes have to be the best ever? No, you have to achieve a certain level of status. Now, he's 36 years old. Clearly not a top 5 point guard of all time. But again, it's a narrative. So I called it last night on Telling It Like It Is, my channel on Facebook there, my little group. And I said it before the fourth quarter. It's going to be the Chris Paul narrative for the next 15 minutes if the game doesn't get close. And gosh darn it, 100% accurate. It became the Chris Paul show. And yeah, he played great last night. Got a lot of buckets laid up 20 and by 15. But hey, he deserved it. But the fact is, 2-2 with him, 2-0 without him. I mean, obviously, you'd rather have him on the floor, but how much did they miss him when they were 2-0 without him? So that's one point. Like I said before, the injury bug, you have to address this. It's you have to do something with this season. Like I said, I'd rather see less games, but no load management, or else you don't get paid. I mean, this is crap. And thanks to Greg Popovich for the load management term, because I believe that has something to do with it also. You can't play pickup basketball, which is what some of these NBA games look like. And I try to watch as much as possible. But it's, like if you watch the Pelicans this year, it looks like pickup basketball. And then all of a sudden in the playoffs, have some contact be allowed, have your intensity amped up, and all of a sudden you're going to get some bad injuries. So either play less games or make the season longer with the same amount of games, thus getting more rest. But the load management thing, I definitely think contributes to this also. So, I mean, there's a different level of intensity between the playoffs and the regular season. And then you got guys playing 45 games in the regular season. All of a sudden in the playoffs, you try to amp it up. It doesn't work. That being said, there are some injuries in the playoffs that I just can't believe. Clint Capella got poked in the eye, so he might sit out tonight. Holy crap. I mean, again, this is where the money comes in. Guys always make a lot of money, but this is off the chart when you're going to sit out maybe a game 5 of a conference final because you got poked in the eye and you have maybe an eye abrasion. Hey, what happened to Giannis? Real injury there, okay? Getting poked in the eye, you got to try to play. I mean, Devin Booker put on a mask after he broke a nose. You got to try and play. Rip Hamilton did it. I mean, you got to try and play. I mean, this is the big time here. So it's just incredible. But again, the narrative and the ignorance of fans on these social media posts about just the NBA, like, know what you don't know. I mean, it's a disgrace, some of these comments. Then yesterday I saw another one. Devin Booker's best light skinned player of all time. Hello, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Jason Kidd. We can go on and on. Not even I mean, the people. I mean, in this case, censorship should be there, and it would be great because this is it's horrendous. So, oh my goodness, just the conversations. I mean, but can we not just push a narrative? Can you know a little history? Can you know that everything in the last 5 minutes is not the greatest ever? Because that's the approach of a 5-year-old or a 10-year-old. See, if you've ever taught elementary school, and I have, they only live in the now. Do a little research, know a little history. And the best part is you'll ask a 20-year-old, well, how do you know that LeBron's better than Mike? Well, he's not, but he never saw Mike play. So right away, you're disqualified from the conversation. They're like, well, you're really going to say that? Yeah, there's nothing else I need to say. You never saw him play. Oh, yeah, no, you watched highlights. Not the same thing. Know what you don't know. I never saw Wilt play. So for me to conversate about Wilt versus Bill Russell, never saw either of them play. Being 3 or 4 years old at that time, can't really comment on that. You got to be honest about it. You can look at numbers, but that doesn't tell the whole story. Eyeball test, if you know what you're looking at, tells a lot of the story. So the NBA right now really shooting itself in the foot. It's flirting with disaster because we have all these young guys. I think that people were excited, and I think the media is reading this wrong, saying that they don't want to see an Atlanta Suns final. I tell you, I'd be blessed if I could see a healthy Atlanta versus a healthy Phoenix team, because it looks like, Giannis. I mean, I don't know how they're going to survive without him. Maybe they could, but I'd rather see two healthy teams go. I would love to see the Suns and the Hawks. I think that'd be great. Trae Young, Chris Paul, Booker. Collins. It's so much fun. I think it would just be fantastic. Andre Ayton has been the silent killer of the series. He's just dominating. It'll be a lot of fun. Capella versus him would be great. The Hawks have a little swag. I think this would be a blast. The Phoenix Suns have built very well through the draft with guys like Bridges also, and just incredible pickups over the time, and guys like Crowder out there. I think they got to get Cam Johnson back too. But I would love to see these two healthy teams go at it. This would be a blast. So I totally disagree. Just there's no such thing as a must media market anymore. The NBA isn't like that. San Antonio Spurs had a great run for many years, and the NBA loved watching the Spurs in a lot of respects. And some people called it boring, but I call it effective. The Spurs were a small market, and they got it done. Phoenix and Atlanta's not really that small of a market. They've never had a championship except back in Bob Pettit's day. But maybe if we get a championship there, that market can grow and that fan base can grow, and people will definitely come put their eyeballs on a TV set for Trae Young. Trae Young, you can't miss. When he's playing the game, you want to watch, whether you love him or hate him. He brings eyeballs to the set. So the new player thing would have been a blast. I don't know what's going to happen in Game 5 tonight. I would say Giannis probably isn't playing. Who knows? But I don't know what they're going to do with Trae. It's really a strategic decision right now to try to figure out, what you're going to do. Do you want to sit Trae and get another couple of days off and go for it in Game 6 or 7 if you have to go 7? You really got to examine these things. Lou Williams did a great job the other night. Maybe you feel I bet you they'd like to sit Trae if Giannis wasn't playing. But how do you know Giannis isn't playing? If Giannis isn't playing, I would sit Trae. But they have to make sure. It's probably not going to have Giannis play, obviously. But it's a little cat and mouse here. Yeah, I would sit Trae for that because I think Trae will be back. But Giannis, I don't know. That was a tough injury right there. So I wish all these unhealthy guys health because the NBA's got to address the problem. And I hate to say it's a similar problem in Major League Baseball. For the 10th time this year, we had a guy leave with stiffness in his side. This was never an injury for 100 years in baseball. You don't leave with stiffness in your side. But now we have every time it's discomfort, a pitcher comes out, stiffness in the side. Great John Smoltz, Hall of Famer, one of the best pitchers of all time, reliever and starter, talking about how when he ever took the mound, he never felt 100%. But it's different now. It's every little twinge is a sign of something. It's paralysis by analysis. It's horrendous. But we got to get these NBA playoffs fixed. We need some healthy teams here because this is shooting themselves in the foot. And can we stop with the narratives? Just let the game breathe. Let it play out. Can we not just force a narrative down your throat? It was like watching Derek Jeter for 35 years. It's like every Derek Jeter be on deck and they show him after a home run. It's like, well, what the hell did he have to do with it? Can we stop forcing the narrative and just play the freaking game? The game is good enough. It doesn't need bullcrap. Signing off.